Hey everybody, it's Andy's Crypto Talk. I did make an announcement a while ago that I would go live, so hopefully whoever wanted to join up is joining up here right away. I don't want to wait too long for anybody because it is Father's Day, and I hope everyone out there that's a father has a good day. None of this is financial advice. We're just talking some charts and chill Sunday. And I just thought it was a good point to make a video due to the state of the market and things that are happening. I just wanted to take a look and see what's happening on the charts. I just realized that I had that on my main screen. Sorry guys. I don't have to have that there. Alright, so we can see here I have the DXY pulled up. Yeah, I mean, I was looking at the DXY. Let's move this over to so I can reset my position here and there. Yeah, so we got a live viewer. That's good enough for me. So I got one person. I'm not talking to myself. So we can see here I'm looking at the DXY, and I had some sort of resistance points that we were looking at. You know, it pushed past that one. It didn't make it quite past this red zone. And now we're still under that second yellow one. I think under this we should make that green because it'd be good. We'd like to see it get back underneath this green. Ideally, if it rejects here and then continues back down, that would be ideal situation here, because then we have this, you know, we want to see that trend broken, because we've seen this major trend broken to the upside, so we don't want to see this happen. That would be quite dangerous to the markets. So keeping an eye on DXY as well as the VIX. Keep an eye on the VIX here. I think we extended this. This is the daily time frame. So I extended this trend down because we did make a new low here. So it's something to watch that, you know, this did trend into a newer low, and it's making its way back up now. You know, now we have another chance. Is it going to break this? Maybe moves the point out to, looks like, you know, August or September sort of time. Maybe looking for something to happen around there. It's really tough to say, but it could continue on either way. Where's my color? There it is. Make that one red, and make that one. That would be the ideal scenario. I don't know if VIX would go that low. Maybe my projection's a bit off. A little bit off. Something like that instead. That would be more ideal scenario. This would be less ideal scenario. But yeah, I would just keep an eye on the VIX and see kind of where it progresses from here. We do see some bigger stocks and names continuing on up to all-time highs. I mean, people say this looks overextended, but I wouldn't call the top on anything. Oops. The US 30 definitely doesn't look quite like the NASDAQ. But Qs and SPY both looking very juicy as well. It looks like they just kind of extended this trend upwards. Tough to say, but yeah, it hasn't reached its top sort of resistance point here. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Either way, yeah, I think there's still room to move up on these. It's tough to call a top right now. But yeah, just keep an eye on the dollar and the VIX. And I think that's kind of a guiding light into what's happening with the crypto market. So USDT.D, right, it made it under this yellow line. It would have been good to continue that way, but then it corrected back up as we had the correction BTC. Jude Calvin, yeah, you're first. Yeah, buddy. But yeah, we're kind of up on top of this resistance right now, so could potentially push another move to the upside. Let's get rid of this old stuff. So yeah, maybe a push up to the upside and then a rejection. Otherwise, it could just continue and reject from here and hopefully make its way down. That would be the green scenario, actually. Let's get rid of this stuff. This would be the red scenario. Just because, yeah, again, you don't want to see the amount of USDT.D coming in the system. The dominance of USDT, that's bad for the rest. BTC dominance, still just this is kind of the rejection point I was talking about, right? So reject off there, back down, came back up to these highs, making lower highs. Tough to say if it's going to be a continuation or... Not sure why we had this other line in there. That's really the trend we're looking at. So we're looking for that larger time frame trend to break. And I think it's getting pretty close here. It's getting pretty exhausted. But you could watch for this trend as well. And just see which one breaks first. It's getting quite tight in here, so one or the other. It is underneath this resistance line, so probably come down to 54.68, I think, at least in the near term, maybe even lower to 54.4, kind of in this zone. Once you see this larger time frame trend break down, though, that should be a pretty clear altcoin season signal. Currently, it seems like Bitcoin's still sort of dominating what's going on. So yeah, again, the magical green box that we have drawn up, as we can see, price becomes very volatile between 68.8 and 66.5. So I think if we do have a push up into here and break this 67.1, it should go violently, pretty violently to the upside. Let's just get rid of a couple things here. That looks okay. Still on our projection for the most part. This correction is bigger than anything we drew out, but I think it still looks good for upside movement. As long as it's above the 65.5, for the most part, it should have pretty good strength moving upwards. So again, still targeting 80. Really would look for 69.95 to kind of become a support. Once we can support up there, it should be really good. Although the near term, I would say 67. Once it pushes past this, it's looking for a move up to the 69, 70k sort of range. The thing is, once you starting to get into these 70ks, you're really pushing the third time against this major down resistance that we've had since March. So there's a good chance of it actually breaking one of these times and price sending up much higher. However, there's still room to the downside as well, down to the 60s, 61, 62. For a retest, it could still be an inverted head and shoulders all the way down to this range. Sorry guys, I'm gonna get some water. Okay, I'm back. Just about died. I'm good now. So yeah, what are we looking at here with the corn? Yeah, I think there's a lot of upside potential here. But yeah, we're in this tight little range, so just watch again. Once we're in this box, it should move up. If we reject here, it could go lower to the 62s. Keep an eye on those levels. And then the rest of the markets are kind of just follow suit. Like you can see, it's very volatile. But this was Wednesday, so this was the Darth Maul. Essentially, this was FOMC. CPI came in good. When was that? Tuesday? Yeah, I think this is when CPI came in good. Everyone was hyped, super hyped, bullish. Oh no, that was here. Or maybe it was just pre. I don't remember. We had good CPI. FOMC was hawkish. It dumped. Everything dumped a little bit. Like even if we look at stocks, they dumped a little bit. Let's go. Oh, we're on the 4 hour. Not really though. Wow. Like stocks gapped up and then just chilled up here. So yeah, never mind. I eat my words there. Apple as well, making a major push in this last week. So I mean, tech's doing good, and that's usually good. Nvidia as well just continues on up. So I think, I mean, that's good for general risk. Now we have GME as well. I was gonna say, guys, this is the GME stock is another risk barometer now, because the kitty is back and we have the degens at play. So again, we can trace human emotions in the charts, and this is the best type of human emotion, is complete FOMO degeneracy, like what happens with GME. So we look at this, and I think this is telling to what's going on in risk as well, is like everyone's hyped, it's all over. Everyone's hyped, it's all over. We're gonna come into another everyone's hyped wave. It's gonna get to one more last, it's all over. And then that's really the deciding factor. Is it actually gonna be all over, or is it just gonna continue on up? I think we have some announcements. Something about a meeting or some kind of news on GME is on the 17th, so that would be tomorrow. So just keep an eye on that one, I'd say. This is a huge flag that broke. Like, this is years of downtrend. So yeah, I mean, you know, I would look at this kind of like that, on that kind of scale. This is essentially something I think could be going into the hundreds. Somewhere around there, who knows? But yeah, just something to keep an eye on. Another one we actually keep an eye on is GME. I probably have one in here. Because the thing is, like, if that's the case with GME going up like that, Of course, GME on Solana, you can see, has made much higher moves recently. 3,800%. If you caught these lows, I had a resistance line right here. If you caught that line, there's another 700%. So, I mean, you're in the trenches, is what I would call it right now. Between here and here. I would look to get over this, but like, I mean, you could nail it in somewhere around here. I think this goes much higher next time, so, you know, 500% maybe more, maybe 1,000% move. It goes up to 10 cents. I think a psychological level will be something like that, right? 700% again. I don't remember. I think that's like almost $1 billion, but I think when it reaches, it might go for the billion. So $1 billion would be around like 14. Let's see what that measurement would be. I think you could easily hold out for the $1 billion with this. Again, if this is anticipating GME to the hundreds, you could anticipate this into the 10 to 15 cent range for 1,000% move, right? Like, the risk to reward on that would be insane if you look at it. Even if you risk all the way down to like here, and that's a pretty steep drop from where it's at, 44%. I don't know if it would have a chance of going that far lower, although it could go 99%. That's a huge RR. Even if you went to 10 cents, that's like a 15 RR trade. So yeah, that's a good one there. Oh, and then I should have baked on here. We could take a look at baked real quick, because this is nice. I mean, as far as charts go, yeah, we did have like this trend that was formed. It broke, but now you can see what's being created. Oops. Whoa. Oops. Oh wow, why? There we go. So yeah, we have this downtrend that formed off of this uptrend that got broken. Right, that got broken. Now I think that we can see this major W form here, alongside other markets clearing up and starting to really pump. Because I just think, again, once this trend gets broken, we're back to upside continuation. Now, does it follow this initial trend? It might not. It might not make it back up to that initial trend, because that was a very steep line. So it might create a new trend. You know, like it'll be like that somehow. So it could even do that before it really sends, or continue on up before it sends. Both of those, I think, are quite realistic scenarios, right? Pretty realistic scenarios that I think could happen. Baked token, you know, they have the magic beans. .gg, 102,000 in bets have gone through this thing. You know, we can see the live bets coming here. Lucky bets. This looks like a new one. So wager won 15 times. Look at that. That's really good. Wow. On the flip. Okay. How do you get a 15 times payout on the flip? I'm not sure. I have to look into it a little bit more because this looks pretty cool. I see some of these lucky bets, and that makes me want to try to bet more. But yeah, guys, so far they have the dice, and you know, this, you can choose how many dice, choose how much you want to bet, and then bet it. So far, just BNB for the betting pool. It's a Web3 platform here where you're connecting to this, and you're sending in some BNB so that you can bet. I think this is maybe the multiplier. How were they able to get that multiplier? I'm not sure. Maybe you gotta bet more? No. I'm not too sure. Magic. Maybe this is an admin, potentially. Yeah, Blez test. They could be just testing. To see if the system's working. They are doing more developments, and you'll see more games like Moonshot, Plinko. I think there's slots, poker they've confirmed for next week. So keep your eye on this ecosystem. Again, they have a large marketing wallet here, 191 BNB, still chilling in there. So yeah, keep an eye on that. Let's get back to our charts. Back to the charts. So yeah, guys, I just wanted to say right now, thanks for stopping in if you came. Please like, comment, sub. We're getting up to the 1,000. I wanted to show you guys this. We got up to 744 subscribers. Thank you again. And we're at 833 public watch hours in the last 365 days. So I need to start pumping these watch hours up. I'm going to try to do more lives. And I'm going to try to add and upload more live / long form content to get these hours up there, so we can get our part of this YouTube whale, because that's the biggest whale, is YouTube. And so yeah, guys, I really appreciate if you like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. Helps the algo, helps me get viewed more, so we can get those hours up. Where were we at? Let's talk about ETH BTC and see what happened here, because yeah, we haven't quite hit our point here I was talking about to keep an eye on, but it is moving up. Like, that's okay, that looks okay in this near term downtrend. It might break here soon, and we might see something for ETH pop up. So as displayed in the price, where was this? So far it's falling down, and it hit this structure like we said. You see we gapped it, so it came down, hit this, it's bouncing, it's rejecting here. We had a resistance / support line here. I think we want to see it get above 3640 for some bullishness, and as long as it stays under 3600, I think it is due to go back down to 3360-ish and maybe bounce again there. But this is a zone to kind of keep your eye on. This is a zone to keep your eye on, right? It's either we like make our way out of here, or it's gonna reject back down and then back up. It's tough to say, but I think there's definitely some catalyst for ETH in the near term, potentially. Sol BTC, we can see running down low here. It actually ran right down through this support, but it did make a pretty solid bounce so far. So maybe worth keeping an eye on Sol doing a bounce with ETH, BNB as well. We had a Cowabunga, it did not actually fulfill. And then we got another cowbunga downside. Here's another BART. So let's see our Solana chart. This is our Solana chart. Yeah, I mean, this large previous trend that we have lined up, I think that's kind of what we're looking to connect with. See if I can bring this up. That looks very touchy. I think that's the outside one. Yeah. Yeah, so that's really touchy right there. I think that's nice for a touch. And this is kind of what we're seeing. Solstice. That's coming up in 5 days. Isn't it? Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, Solana Summer? Or Solana Bummer? I don't know. It's tough to say. I was up here, right? Like, we were talking up here. We were talking about this being broken and it moving to the upside when we were last talking about this. And it did that, and it moved to the upside, but then it rejected because the rest of the market rejected. And then we had this massive liquidation down. It was actually huge on Solana compared to the others. Down from 170 to about 150. So a very violent move down, and then it continued retracing down because, again, lots of negative sentiment in the market. So now we've got a more extended downtrend, which looks like, again, it retested this support and the major trend coming from before, and now we're looking to recover 150. I think once it recovers 150, it should easily move up to the upside around 160-ish. And then if not, we're going to kind of bounce along this line around the 140s. So let's just draw that out, I think. And then eventually it'll make its way up. Unless it goes like this. And then it could break through and go on. This is, again, assuming that the bullishness in BTC I was talking about, continues, because this could as well just break down very heavily if BTC breaks down very heavily and revisit these lows around the 110 area, maybe even dip lower. I don't know if it dips much lower than that. It could 100, maybe just under 100. If it goes down to 100, just under 100, you could see it. But this was the major leg, was this to this. And so, yeah, that's what we're looking at, the correction of. We really don't want to see it break down here, because this is a major trend. So, keeping an eye on Solana, keeping an eye on BNB. Because BNB actually looks the best out of all of them, which is weird to say. CZ must have that ledger tied up in jail, no one can get up access to that. So yeah, I think this looks like it's just hurting a bit with the rest of the market right there, but it looks ready to just continue on up as soon as everything else is like chilling, and then just make that second push past previous all-time highs that it broke already. We already went to 720, whereas previous all-time high was here at 693. So already made a new all-time high. I think maybe just retesting in this zone again. We see this that previous trend that got broken, and it's getting retested a little bit. It's kind of the best way to draw it, but really right there, so that we don't ignore that wick. We're really just sitting right on it, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of liquidity up here, so as long as we stay above this 600 range, I think BNB is just off to the races. And probably first. Like I would keep an eye on it moving first, even as soon as the potential overhang sort of news just clears up. Let's look at total. What were we looking at with total? So yeah, we're back in the channel. Back in the channel with total. We want to move this up out of this channel. That's what we'd like to see. It almost looks like if you ignore that down, maybe it's something like that. No, not quite. I'm gonna take that out of there. We're just looking for this to break. It could really be safe all the way down to the 2.2 trillion, but we don't want to see it get that far. We'd rather just see it break up here. So, I mean, weirdly, I had this drawn out like this. And that's like what, saying September, October, November, December, and then, I don't know. I don't know if I was thinking about the time scale when I was drawing this. Yeah, maybe that would have to compress a bit. I was saying like we're not moving past those all-time highs till October, and then we're gonna fake out and then move. I don't know. We'll see. It's kind of weird that it is following that. Like it went up here and it came up here and then it dropped, made that kind of M format. It dropped right down to like where I said. So now we're coming up this slope. We're gonna make another little correction and then pop up big time. But this is like, you know, it's more like here. So yeah, like pump up into, it was like that, right? Yeah, to make it more adjusted. Pump up into like July, and then little correction through August, and then pump up end of August into September. I don't know. It's odd. We're gonna just put it back to where it was though. Yeah, that's where the OG was. And we'll see what happens once we actually get up to those ranges. Anyways, I think we talked about most of what I wanted to talk about this time around. Is Rollbit actually pumping like that? Wow. I would say that's also good for Baked, is to keep an eye on Rollbit. Because if Rollbit pumps, then that leaves more chance for other crypto Web3 gaming platforms to do really well, especially ones that are following similar moat. And yeah, I think that near-term trend is broken pretty nicely. We'll see if it gets above this like 9 cent. If it can get above 8 or 9 cents, then I think Rollbit has a good run that it's been correcting down since November to June. That's a huge correction, right? And it's just been coiling in a fairly tight range. Coiling up nice. Yeah, I'm not sure what else to bring up. Let's see. The markets do open soon-ish, don't they? Will I be able to stay on for it? Not that one. Sunday. So another 2 hours or so. Yeah, I'm not gonna stay on for that long. Oh, sorry, another 1.5, 1 hour and 20 minutes. No. Yeah, I gotta go actually make some lunch. It's lunchtime around here. So I'm gonna go make some lunch, and I think that's all I'm gonna cover for today. But again, please like, comment, sub, check out the Telegram link below. And yeah, just keep an eye on the VIX and the dollar in the near term here, just to see what kind of happens, what resolves. Again, remember I said GME is a good barometer to pay attention to. And for crypto, it's actually LTC. Wherever I have that, I know I have LTC in here somewhere. There we go. Which one did we talk about? We talked about this one. So just quickly again, this is another barometer. We're like right at the middle point. We haven't broken under this major uptrend, right? But we haven't broken above these resistance points. So LTC is actually in a good place as well, but we like to see this move up out of these green boxes. And the closer it moves to the upside, the more risk we'll see in crypto. As we move above like $100, you should see a lot of more risk coming in. So that's another one to keep your eye on. And you know, again, check out Magic Beans, check out the platform. It's great. Check out the Bake token. Again, this is a juicy dip. It's a good dip buying opportunity. And yeah, I just think a lot of good opportunities to grab here in these lows. So keep your eyes peeled for good risk averse opportunities. And we'll catch you in the next one. That was Andy's Crypto Talk. Peace out, guys.